Welcome to Home Team Advantage. I'm Gary Chimbetti along with Mike Egan, and you don't even want to know what we were talking about before the show started. I guess if we were...
Something to do with the Bible and the Red Sea, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
They
It wasn't too bad.
Or at the Red Sea.
But if we were on what? Cable or
KFAN.
satellite radio, we could probably talk about it
Yeah,
and
KFAN.
not get in trouble, but we want to keep it pretty clean here. So, but we have really no high school stuff to talk about, but high school activities start Monday.
Monday. I saw a few of the kids out running today, so cross country, right? Must be
Yes.
starting a little bit early. Mr. Please has got them out running.
Well, the captain's practices,
Yep.
so obviously we don't want to get any coaches in trouble here, so no coaches are allowed
that
to contact with their...
That wasn't him following them in the car?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. But they're not supposed to have any contact
No.
with them from like the end of, I think from the start of August till the time practice starts. They're totally off limits.
And that's a farce.
Well, kind of. Yeah, I don't know what the big deal is while you're working with them. I didn't think, to be honest, I didn't think they could work with them at all during the summer, but you have high school baseball coaches coaching the Legion teams
Right.
and all that stuff. So obviously it's allowed until a certain point of the summer. I believe there's a 2-week period between June and July where they can't, and then they can, and then they can't once August 1st starts, and who knows.
And I guarantee you 98% of the coaches don't follow that.
Well, yeah, I hope the heaving coaches do follow it, and I haven't had. Of course, if you're running the weight room,
Yeah.
I mean, you got the kids in there, but the weight room's open for everybody, so it's not like just
You run into one of your athletes on the streetway, supposed to turn around and walk the other way.
Yeah,
Oh, don't talk to me.
yeah. I can't talk to you. You're off limits now.
How's your summer? Oh, don't tell. Don't ask. It's like the Army. Don't ask, don't tell.
But it's going to be fun once everything starts. You know, obviously football goes a week without pads to get the conditioning, and then they'll put the pads on next week or the week after on the 21st, and then they'll have scrimmages and all that stuff. Tennis seems to be the sport that starts the earliest, actually playing the earliest. They'll have a week of practice, and then I bet that next weekend they'll have matches down in the cities, maybe at home. He'll probably be playing at home 21st or 22nd.
I think, well, there's a football game. Is it the week before school actually opens?
More than likely, that's
Yep.
possible, yes. And then I don't know that they do that zero week thing this year. I don't know if any teams started early, if they have games on that 0 week, they call it. That past 2 years they've had that, but I don't know if it's happening again. And it's just going to be fun. I mean, volleyball will have their scrimmage the week after, the Saturday after they start. They always have one at the Lincoln in the high school. So it'll heat up quickly.
Yep. That'll keep you busy.
Yeah, I'll be back on board. I've been off now for like eight or 9 days, so now I get back to work today. So the break was needed.
I have to admit, when I drive by your house and you're sitting out in that chair, you kind of look like the Godfather when you're sitting there. I'm afraid to drive by sometimes because
Well, I wish I had the Godfather's money, but that would be about the only reason I'd be the Godfather.
yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. Yeah. It's just kind of funny. You watch some of the cars drive by and everybody bows their head and keeps right on driving. And
Well, I will tell, no matter how many people watch the show, I will tell you that I do see people who are texting when I do sit there. So if you drive by my house, don't be texting, because that's bad. It's bad for everything. You don't want to get yourself in trouble for it.
Right. Well, now that you just informed the police, they'll be having a squad sitting in front
Public
of your
service
house.
announcement for the Hibbing Police Department. Please come and stand, park by my house. And I swear the other day, some guy revved up his truck or whatever it was, and I bet he was going 50 miles an hour past my house.
Wow.
And there are not necessarily, well, there are kids on my block, but not real young kids, but there are young kids around there. And there's probably young kids up south of me. Please don't do that.
No.
I mean, it's a 7th Avenue. It's not 7th Highway 7.
Right.
7th Avenue East. Just drive normally. and be careful.
Well, see, now that you just told everybody where you live, you'll probably be on that, like the Hollywood has, the list of all the famous houses for actors and actresses. Yours will be on the Hibbing list now. You and Bob Dylan.
Yeah. Yeah, I only live. Well,
wanna
I'm not
do it,
going to
yeah,
tell
yeah.
you. I don't live too far from Dylan's
You almost
house.
spilled the beans.
So, and I had, I was all sitting out there one day, and a couple guys from Canada
Hey,
pulled up and stopped and asked me where Dylan's house was. I said, well, you're only a couple blocks away from it. Just go down a couple blocks, and it's on the left-hand side of the street.
where's the Bob Dylan house? Hey,
So I do have that happen once in a while. And
well, you mentioned that house, so there is a lot of people that come and they get their picture taken in front of it, and apparently he's going to convert it into a museum or so.
Well, I see him out there watering the grass every now and then, and
Who,
I don't
Dylan?
know the guy. No, I wish it was Dylan out there watering the grass. You know, Bob Dylan, if you're listening to this show, if you would like
sure
to come
he
on
is.
one day, please do so. We'd love to talk to you.
Yeah,
I
I'm
mean,
sure he is.
Well,
He's got all his friends. Hey, come look at these two screwballs. Now you know why I left Hibbing.
Yeah, we would more than appreciate the fact if you were able to come on the show.
Hey, we take anybody live. We used to get our get our coaching upgraded with the hockey, but we always did that by phone.
Yeah, and they were up here for unfortunately a funeral a couple weeks ago, but I didn't get a chance to see Pat, and but I'm sure I'll text him at some point before the Wild start, and I'm sure he'll be more than happy to come on.
Not to jump and change things around a little bit, but what do you think about Mr. Dumba leaving the Wild?
Well, I think that was inevitable at some point. You know, at least he left on his own volition.
Yep.
And was signed as a free agent to play in Phoenix or Arizona, I guess. And,
Yeah, for $3.5 million. Well, it's tough to leave.
Yeah, real tough. But that's less than he was. Isn't that less than what he
Plus,
was
he was going to
making
get here. Yep.
So, but I think with Brock Faber coming in, I believe, I think that, it's, who knows, hockey's been out of our minds, but I think he's a suitable replacement for him. I know doesn't have the experience Dumba has, but you got to get younger at some point, and
It was hard to realize that it was 10 years that he was here. So, yeah, you do, and you lose the step.
you do. And not only was he good for the Wild, but he was also good for the community down there. He was getting indigenous people to play hockey and doing a lot of other things for kids, I believe. And so you're going to miss that unless he
Keeps it going
keeps
here.
it going. Yeah, but he should also do that down in Arizona as well for unfortunate kids that just run into some bad luck.
So shall we talk about the Twins first, or where do you want to go?
Yeah, let's talk about
Is there
that.
any public service announcements you want to make, or do you want to talk about what's going on in the world today? Hey, how about poor Hawaii? Holy
Ooh.
great, the whole island is gone.
Maui is just up in flames over there.
Wow.
People are jumping in the ocean
Yeah,
to get away from the flames, and I can't even imagine what that might be like.
can you imagine the sharks? Dinner,
Yeah,
it's already cooked.
yeah. It's I don't know if boy, that would be a tough decision. Jump in the water or
Or burn.
burn.
I say, get out of my way, shark. Daddy's coming in.
Yeah.
But it's just unbelievable footage they showed last night, and half of the main town is gone, and it just and where do you go for help? Like they were saying last night, you have a fire in Minnesota, and you've got North Dakota, South Dakota, Wisconsin. All those people are going to come help. Who's going to help in Hawaii?
Well, yeah, you just can't jump in a.
In a boat.
You can't even jump in a plane
Car,
and get
yeah.
there in an hour or two.
No.
I don't think from California.
Yeah,
So wasn't it 4 or 5 hours to get there from
I
California?
think so. Yeah, I've never been there, but Ron, you been to Hawaii?
Nope.
No.
Oh, so we don't know really. It
It's-
might be even 6 hours.
That
from
must be one spot
California.
on his calendar he doesn't have a stick pin in.
Yeah,
Yeah, anyway.
Not yet. He
It's on
said.
the list.
yeah.
Well, you get a good rate in Maui right now.
Fire sale.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's amazing. And do you know how it started?
Well, you know what the global warmists are going to say, but
Well.
they said they've had unusual 60-mile-an-hour winds, and it started in one of the forests. So it could, could have been lightning, could have been who knows, but it spread so fast that they were unable to control it.
The natural grasses have been replaced for decades with other type of grasses that, when they dry out, they become very flammable, like ours.
Oh, okay.
No.
Power line went down and started that grass on fire.
A who?
Power
A
line.
yeah,
Oh,
if
power
I
line.
think right now if a power line went down, it would start
Yeah. Well,
our grass on fire.
so they replaced the regular grass with
With other types of grass.
other types of grass.
Yeah,
Okay.
that is not native to Hawaii.
Is that the stuff that's illegal, or?
No, it's planted,
Well, it's legal in Minnesota now.
Yes, it is. And I see the stores open there on the corner of what, like
No,
26th
25th and
Street or
First,
24th Street? Yeah, so hope they're, maybe I hope their business is good. I mean, now that it's legal, I mean, so.
Well, no, that's all paraphernalia and tents and instructions.
all right.
Yeah.
Not,
All right.
not the stuff itself.
All right, well.
That's
then
the man. He's probably got some of
Well,
that stuff growing in his
He's probably
garden.
been in there. He is a child of the 60s, isn't he?
Are you?
Oh, 7.
70s? Oh, okay, sorry. We're aging you a little too much then.
That's what the 60s.
Well, yeah, you still grew up in the 60s. So. But so did I, but I was only
Yeah.
between 0 and 10.
Yeah.
So.
Anyways, so the Twins can't beat Detroit.
Well, they gave you a glimmer of hope by going on a 5-game winning streak, getting like 6 games over 500, and now you're playing Detroit, which they're not the worst team in the league,
No.
but they're close,
Yep.
and now you can't beat them for 2 straight games.
Right. So they play tonight. Hopefully they can,
After this
or this afternoon, salvage a split. If they go into the rest of their series and at least either split or, win a series, they should be all right.
Well, yeah, win 2 of 3 or win 3 of 4 or
Right.
whatever. But it's just this part of it. They had a chance to run away with it
Yep.
against a bad team with one good pitcher. The pitcher that beat them 6-0 the other day is their best pitcher, and I guess we can't hit him, so
Yep.
we got shut out. And Sonny Gray struck out 10 and didn't walk anybody, and
Still
lost. So
Yeah.
it's like whatever.
And they got Maeda.
Maeda's going today, I
Today.
believe.
Yep.
Old Bailey Ober went yesterday. I haven't looked at a box score. I'm just frustrated, so I don't. Dead weight.
Yeah.
Get rid of him. He's not what you think he's going to be. Now, I'm not Derek Falvey or Thad Levine. I guess I don't know anything about
Right.
their personnel, but dead weight.
Well, could be worse. You could be a Yankee fan and pay $500 for a ticket to go see a game, and they're in last place. Right, babe?
Yeah, I have to start listening to the Yes Network. Is Michael Kay, who's one of their broadcasters. I'll have to start watching that and see what the reaction is
Yeah.
out there. It can't be good.
But it's really nice to see, not to get away from the Twins, but the Baltimore Orioles for so many years were the floor mat of that Eastern Division, and now they're leading that division. And they have no big names.
No, none at all.
They got good pitching and good hitting.
Yeah.
And that's what it takes to win. Twins don't have either one.
Well, I think that, while Dallas Keuchel actually went out and threw a pretty good game the other day.
Yeah.
Now, again, that's one game, so, you have nothing to compare it to, but we'll see how he... But he's one of those pitchers where he's not going to throw at 92 miles an hour. But Greg Maddux never did either.
No.
Older in his career, but he was just crafty and knew where to put the ball and
Yep.
got guys out. So maybe Dallas Keuchel will have a resurgence here and give the Twins another, that'd be... Well, if you count Ober, I guess that would give them 6 starters, I believe. But
And then the other deal is, the Sano scenario is, where's Mr. Buxton?
well, he's on the DL. That's one thing.
What do he do now?
Well, I'm sure he had leg tightness in his hamstring or something.
How can you pay somebody the amount of money they pay for 7 years?
Huh?
How are they going to get rid of it?
Well, the only way that they're going to make the money, it's going to come out on top is if Buxton finally gets out and plays center field, and starts hitting at a 250 clip or better.
Yeah, but he hadn't played center field in 2 years.
Well, again, that question was brought up to Rocco Baldelli in a press news after the game,
Yeah.
or maybe before a game, and
Yeah, and he goes, Adrian.
and he wasn't a very happy camper when it got asked, because the guy said maybe my take isn't brand new, but he'd be more engaged in the game if
Yep.
he was out in center
Yep.
field. Even if he struck out, he'd still have to go back out there and play, and he wouldn't be thinking about that at bat for 20 minutes.
Oh, maybe he's afraid of someone hurting his feelings out there when they yell at him and tell him he's a bum.
Well, I hate to give up on it, because the guy is obviously a lot better than Sano.
Yeah.
I mean, he has more potential than Sano had, I guess. It's too bad that he flamed out like he did. And you know what I think about him.
Yeah.
But
Ever tell you a story? I was out at the old Met Center with a friend of mine when I was in college, and Bombo Rivera was playing left field. And this friend of mine from college had a few toddies at him, and he's calling Bombo every name in the book and yelling. Next thing I know, there's 3 security guys. You guys got to leave or move to it. So we move out to, he was in left field, so we move way out to right field, and he's still yelling at him from across the, hey, Bomba!
boy, that's really going back there.
Yeah.
I mean, that guy hasn't.
Rookie of the year.
Yeah, he hasn't even been heard of.
No.
I mean, obviously he's not playing anymore,
But that's when games were kind of fun at the old Met. Although Target Field's a great place to watch a game. I mean, it's
and I think you can watch it cheap,
yeah, and every
depending on
season's
where
good.
you want to sit. I guess I don't know what the tickets are on like upper left field or whatever, but you know what, that'd be fine.
That's where I sat when we, they got the big brick or granite wall in the back there, and it's got the Budweiser thing. We sat way up on top there, and great seats.
Mm-hmm.
But they got Pink playing there tonight, so hopefully she'll fill the place.
Well, I'm sure Taylor Swift was there. She probably would fill the place.
She had 500,000 people come to some thing she had in the cities. That's crazy.
And then she was playing, I think. We really segued into something
I'm
different
sorry.
here. But
Yeah.
out in California, maybe in Los Angeles, I think she had 6 nights out there at Dodger Stadium or something. That's probably going to sell out every night.
So our 2 fans over at the Golden Crest are looking at each other going, what the hell are they talking about now?
We just
Did we miss something?
Yeah. But
Back to the Twins.
Well, we have nothing really. I mean, it's maybe we don't have to talk about sports all the time, but
Yeah.
they have to start putting us. It doesn't matter. I hear people complaining about how bad they're playing and all this stuff. It doesn't matter how you're playing until you start. Well, all you got to do is start playing well at a certain time of the season. The Oakland A's that one year were bad with Moneyball.
Billy,
If you go
Moneyball.
back to
Billy Beane.
Moneyball,
Yep.
they were bad. And then in August,
Got hot.
they got hot, won like 20 games in a row. And I know the Twins did beat them in the playoffs. But for most of that season, that team was irrelevant.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden they get hot. And this is where the Twins have to start taking off.
And now that team's going to Vegas, Oakland.
Yeah. And I think Billy Beane's still involved with
Yeah.
it, isn't he? I'm not sure, though.
They got 3 tough games coming up with the Phillies this week.
Well, they do play the Phillies, and the Phillies aren't. Yeah, they're not great, but they have some very dangerous hitters.
And they're at Target Field this weekend.
No,
Are they in
they're
Philly?
in Philly.
Okay.
So, like they said this year, they're playing every team in the National League, usually one series. Next year, the teams that they played on the road will come to Target Field.
Oh, okay.
So you'll see the Phillies next year, and the Marlins will be here next year, and I think we go out to Los Angeles though, because I think
Yeah,
the
the Dodgers
Dodger
played here.
series was here. The Cardinals will come here next year. However, whatever it works, how it works
Yeah.
out. But I don't know. They're so frustrating. It looked like they were finally going to take off, and now they're 2-3 games over 500, I think.
4 games over 500.
Four?
And I think
Okay.
they've got a 5-game lead now right now or still. I think
4.5.
Cleveland.
4.5,
Yeah.
yeah, which is not bad, but take care of the teams you need to take care of.
Yeah.
and your division teams are the teams.
And they have one of the weakest schedules in the league right now.
Oh yeah, they only play like Cleveland over the next month and a half has had 42 games against teams 500 or better.
Right.
Minnesota, I think it might have been 24 games against teams 500 or better. So they do have the advantage of a weaker schedule.
Right.
I mean, which it's never weak because they're all major league teams.
Right.
And they all have major league players, as Kansas City proved to us.
Yeah.
With that 3-game sweep, so I
I'm just saying, if they could have won 2 out of 3 in Kansas City, and if they could have won 3 out of 4 in Detroit, what kind of position they'd be sitting in right now?
They'd be 8 to 10 games over 500
Yep.
and
6 to
probably
7
6
game
to
lead.
7 games lead, and not that you can rest or relax.
No.
But you'd be in a lot better position than you are now.
Yeah, our stud last night, Correa, had a chance to do something at the top of the 9th, and he struck out.
Oh,
Bases loaded.
I should have looked that up to see how many. I'm sure they have well over 1,000 strikeouts by now,
yeah.
probably over 1,100.
But they got one of the best hitting coaches in the league.
Well, evidently, and one of the better pitching coaches in the
Yeah.
league, and one of the better managers in the league.
Not really.
Vikings play tonight.
Oh yeah, that's the other
Vikings
thing.
are on TV tonight, channel 1013 at 9 o'clock.
Against Seattle,
Against
opening preseason game.
And you won't see one starter.
No, but you might actually see that receiver they drafted #1, Jordan Allison, will probably be playing if he's not going 140 miles an hour down
yeah.
whatever main highway.
Boy, if he could run that
Seattle.
fast, how good would he be?
Oh God, yeah, that'd be sweet. Young kid, make mistakes. He's just lucky nobody got hurt, and now you can put it past him and start playing football. And you're going to see Nick Mullins probably start the game at quarterback, and then the kid from Brigham Young that they drafted will probably see about a half a game maybe. So
And one thing nice about I don't agree with preseason games because, one, you don't see the #1 players, but you still pay the same amount for a ticket. But you do see kids, and I say kids because most of them are young kids that are hungry to play. They just don't go through the motions. So that makes it kind of interesting to watch to see it.
Mhm.
Plus, you get a glimpse of what your future is going to look like as a franchise.
Mhm.
And it may not look so good.
Well, the thing is that they were talking, I heard this morning on KFAN, that the Seattle's second offensive line isn't very good. So what you want to see is the Vikings' second string defensive line
Control the game.
dominate
Yep.
against their.
Yep.
Then you know what you have. But if it's a standoff, then I guess what are you going to do anyway? But
Has Dalvin Cook signed with anybody yet?
he has not. So he's still.
So
a
there
free
must be
agent.
something more than just the fact they couldn't afford to keep him.
Well, they're going to wait to see. Teams will wait to see how they get through the preseason with running backs if they get hurt or.
Think he'd come back here?
Never know. It's been talked about.
Oh, really?
I think so,
Oh.
or at least mentioned. Allegedly. Use those.
He could play first base for the Twins.
Sure, he could.
He'd be better than Sano.
But hey, the big news of the week was Monday when Michael Egan,
Oh, yes.
Vinny Monticelli, and yours truly teamed up at the Hibbing Chamber of Commerce golf outing.
Boy, we tore it up. We tore it up. I tore up the scorecard. I tore the glove in my golf hand, and my club slipped out, ended up in the tree.
I wasn't going to bring that
I
up.
tore a couple golf balls open.
Oh, boy.
You know that movie, The Natural, where he hits the ball and the ball comes apart? That's what my golf balls look like.
So, actually, it was very fun.
Yeah,
I've said I don't like playing in those because they take too long.
Yeah, it wasn't that bad.
But it was good. It was fun playing with the three of you, and
We had, we rode in style. Gary had his cart, so we rode in style. And I had one good shot. That was the first hole. After that, it was downhill.
yeah.
But yeah, it was fun, and it's a nice fundraiser for the chamber, and they raised some good money for them, and it gives an opportunity for some people in the community to get together and One table won everything though.
Really?
Oh, it was.
So
You know what? You know what won the score was that won the tournament? 57.
Oh, of course. And I can just imagine who shot it, but
It wasn't who you thought it was.
oh, okay. Well, that's good then.
But yeah, that was fun, and Country Club did a nice job, and the staff out there, the food was good. So yeah. It worked
And
out
I
well.
didn't stay for dinner, but did any of us win anything?
No, we did not.
Okay.
Yep.
So we were left out of the.
Yep.
Well, number one, I didn't buy any raffle
Well, you got to buy a
tickets,
ticket to win.
So I knew I wasn't going to win anything there, but usually they give something out to everybody anyway,
No,
if they can. But we should get a raffle ticket for just entering.
they should. Well, maybe I should bring that up next year. As part of your $100 you pay to play, you should get a chance to win something.
Mm-hmm. So that was fun. We what did we paid $20, or you paid $20
Oh yeah.
on hole number 12 to go tee on a par 5 to go tee off from the 100 stake.
Yeah.
So we ended up getting an eagle on that one.
Should have had a birdie.
So that's the only. We should have had a double eagle.
Yeah, double eagle.
Yeah, we didn't have a very far putt, but none of us, the four of us, couldn't make it. So
One
but-
thing we never took was a picture though of our group.
no, didn't they? Usually they have a photographer out there
Yeah,
to take
well,
them.
he was playing.
Oh, he was. Who was that? Usually,
You.
usually the laws are out there.
He didn't bring his camera.
Yeah, but usually the laws are out there
Yeah.
taking pictures. I wonder where they were.
But I have to commend the Masaba Country Club because the course is in great shape. A little dry in the fairway or in the rough, but fairways and the greens are, boy, they're just immaculate. I guess is
Yeah,
the right word.
they are. I mean, you can complain about the weather, but
Yeah.
we do need rain. And
So a nice job by Mr. Yeager, Gary, and his crew out there. They did a nice job. So
Mhm. And the men's club tournaments it starts Saturday and runs through Sunday. So good luck to all those golfers. And then the Muni will have theirs a week after or 2 weeks after. So I wish I could remember who all the
Yeah.
champions were, and
I think from there it goes to the Vern Prickland one, correct?
and then it's the Northwest. Yes, comes on Labor Day, and the Labor Day shootout comes up, and their Hall of Fame
Yep.
induction is this weekend.
This Saturday. Yep.
Saturday. So I think 5 people are going in.
Kevin Davies, one that I recognize the most. I'm not sure who the other.
Well, there's Kevin, and then there's Lee Bloomquist,
Lee, I remember. Okay.
Mark Trenberth, and Pat Roddy, for sure, are the 4 that I know of that are going in. And if there's a 5th one, I apologize because I don't want to leave anybody out. But I'll be out there, and I'll try to get interviews in with
Good.
all of them.
Nice.
So we've come to the end of another show.
Boy, we really dragged that one.
Oh, we did. Not bad, though. We talked about something other than sports.
Yeah.
But for Mike Egan, I'm Gary Gimbetti. We'll see you again next week on Home Team Advantage.
Hibbing Public Access Television would like to thank U.S. Bank for providing us with studio space.